So now let's discuss this theory and let's relate it to our motivation to travel. So this is Maslow's pyramid that you notice in the left. And there's also another type of illustration there, like using a mountain. Now we have, there are five. First would be the physiological needs, safety needs, belongingness and love needs. That is the what they call the psychological needs, or the more of the spiritual side based on the video. But the first two are the basic needs, physiological needs and then safety needs. And then the next two would be the psychological needs, belongingness and love and esteem needs. And then self-fulfillment needs, or what they call with Maslow's theory is the self-actualization. Now you can see on the right side of the illustration some of the details. For example, under physiological, what are the needs? What are the specific examples? Hunger, thirst, warmth, sleep, and respiration. Can you see it on the mountain side of the illustration? Okay. How about the safety needs? We have the economic security, control, predictability, psychological safety, and physical safety. Next, belonging and love. Love of others, being loved by others, trust in others, intimacy for sexual intimacy, belonging to a group. On the next side, esteem. What are the specific needs? Self-esteem, self-respect, sense of mastery, prestige, respect from others. And then, of course, the self-actualization, which is self-expression, personal growth, autonomy, spontaneity, vertical self-assessment. Now, the video and this theory developed by this psychologist has a general application, and it is inclined in the application for business. If you notice, if you have heard it in the video. Now, using these two illustrations in this pyramid, let's relate it with travel motivation in terms of the needs of the tourists, needs of the visitors when you travel. Because like what you mentioned earlier, there are things that motivates you, but you also have your hesitations. And looking at this illustration, you can already see where it falls, right? Some of your hesitations and some of probably for your needs. Now, let's take, for example, one destination. Let's start to relate it to your activity earlier. Try to imagine that we are planning for a travel heading to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, the destination of Mr. David. So imagine that he's inviting us, and he's inviting us to travel with him to go to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now, what are your hesitations? Some of you has expressed it earlier. Now, try to look at the pyramid of Maslow. For example, psychological needs. Under psychological needs, when you plan for a travel or when you wanted to meditate so that you would like to decide whether we will join Haverson or not in his invitation to trip to Malaysia, what are the needs? What are the physiological needs that we would like to answer first? Or to at least to confirm first, in order for us to be able to decide to travel with him to Malaysia and look at that and see and enjoy that visitor attraction. And why? Let's start with Jelly first for the physiological needs. What are the physiological needs of a traveler?
Maybe I ask Sir David, where do we sleep?
Where do we sleep? Yes. Or what's our accommodation? Where? Okay. What more?
The weather, is it warm there, or do I need to bring my jacket like that?
Okay. Okay, go. And what more? What more? What more concerns will you have? Sorry? What concerns? Like hunger and thirst. Will
Mm.
that concern you, or will you be able to survive visiting Kuala Lumpur without eating and drinking?
Of course, we need to eat.
Yeah, hunger, thirst, warm,
Warm.
yeah, sleep
Respiration.
and respiration. So if for example, Hoverson, you are about to convince and motivate Jelly to travel with you to visit Kuala Lumpur, how would you respond to those questions, to those concerns? Yes, yes, Hoverson. How would you respond to those concerns?
Um, all expense paid.
Let's go. Let's go. Go. You need to give the assurance that what? For
The
example, where will we sleep? That's the first concern.
yeah, the night hotel. Then the food is also comes with the in the hotel.
Breakfast is included in the hotel, something like that, right? Yeah. We will
Uh,
be, don't worry, Jelly, we will be eating and we will be enjoying Malaysian cuisine. I'll bring you around. I've Googled and I'll be bringing you to some night market. We will be enjoying some street food, but at the same time, we will be enjoying some food from the hotel, and we will be enjoying some restaurants. Accommodation is very comfortable. It's not that expensive. Take note, Hoverson, that one of the concerns of Jelly earlier is because of time, like you see. So those are all physiological needs of a traveler that one has to be able to explain, so that Jelly would be motivated to join us. Now, how about safety? Well, earlier, Jelly mentioned this. In your case, Gerald, in the case of safety needs, what are your concerns? What are your questions for related to safety, so that you will join Overson to trip to Malaysia?
Maybe I ask Mr. David, how about our safety there? There's uh, the hotel is near in the uh, in the hotel is remote or in the urban area.
Okay, yeah. Is that a valid concern? Of course, of course. Why? You don't want to go there and not be able to go back, right? So, psychological safety and physical safety. Predictability is also very important, because we wanted to follow the itinerary, right? We can plan out for the itinerary, and we know already if 2 days after we're going to Genting Highland and go back again after 2 days, things like those. And you want to have full control. So those are all safety related. Now, going to the psychological needs. Imagine if Mr. David is arranging a tour for us, not an exclusive tour that it's just only 5 of us, including May. Actually, the plan of Hoverson is to join a bigger group. Imagine that, no? So that it will be cheaper. We will just depart from the Philippines. When we arrive in Malaysia, we will be joining a bigger group. So there will be some tourists coming from other countries in the same bus, in the same area. So what are our psychological needs? What are the things of concern, Hoverson, um, for under psychological needs in these pyramids? We have two, right? We have two: belonging and love, and esteem. Can we really trust the other people there? Can we really trust them when we travel with them and they came from a country that we are not even familiar with? For example, do we feel that we belong to a group? Because the structure of travel will be different if it's just five of us, because we've been to this Zoom room every month, and no, partly we know each other because we are in one class. But joiners now joining other people, what will happen if an old guy, when the old guy saw Jelly and started to be close with Jelly and things like those? Isn't it a concern, right? Isn't it a concern? And of course, self-respect, sense of mastery, respect from others are also very important. And then after the travel or even during, then there's self-actualization, right? Self-expression, personal growth. How does this travel to Kuala Lumpur makes us a different person when we go back, right? And of course, your autonomy in doing things. Of course, a person would like to have that freedom to move, not always following itinerary or not always following the Hoverson as a leader of this trip, and so on and so forth, right? So were you able to, was it clear now, this pyramid of needs based from from Maslow? This is just one theory that really it is quite important for us to feel those needs so that we will be motivated. Try to imagine if Jelly will ask again the same question to Hoverson, and Hoverson do not have the answer. Will Jelly be motivated to join? Perhaps Jelly might be, cannot decide or not decide even not to join our Kuala Lumpur trip because her needs as a traveler are not answered, and or she's not sure if her needs will be handled later on. All right. Do you have any questions so far with this Maslow's hierarchy of needs or Maslow's pyramid of needs? You have to take note of this because we'll have to explain this again later on. We have to explain this later. Using the same destinations. At this time, you will be inviting us naman. You will be inviting us to, Gerald will be inviting us to visit London. Yan. So, he should be able to at least answer our concerns and fill in our needs so that we will be motivated to travel.